Welcome back, everybody. Tyler Talks. I'm going to talk for a little bit and go over what I'm going to be playing. I don't know if it's the entire Lackey Grand Prix. Maybe I'll continuously do edits. I'm not sure. Or maybe I just change decks as well. But this is at least an original concept I had that started changing into a new offense. I spoke to some people at Kentucky State where I wanted to play like a 40 years deck. Um, but the Wilderness defense is having some trouble with just negating evil cards and holy holies. And I believe I was going to see some holy holies in the Lackey Grand Prix, um, and definitely some negate evil cards. So I haven't tested that out enough yet to do what I wanted. But I still felt like I wanted to play some sort of Wilderness 57D heavy. And other people I spoke to at Kentucky State, I was telling them I really um, like purple Wilderness because Jehoshaphat bans to everyone. Um, he bans to a warrior, a musician, so Miriam, Moses, and he bans to a priest, Aaron. So Jehoshaphat can ban to like everything in this offense, and I can bring in 24 elders as well, and that gives me like a David, Jehu, Jehoshaphat, Joshua from reserve, and I can kind of do this David to Joshua to Jehoshaphat to wilderness, kind of conglomerate with music leader and royal parade, and I really liked it, but it just wasn't consistent compared to what this is doing, and it's pretty much the same. You just miss out on a couple extra heroes in the band. Um, and with there, you kind of want to go to a 24 elders, but with this, you can just go to Zadok. So I think if I win, I'm playing Zach Gilbaugh tonight, so I'm gonna upload this video tonight, like schedule it for upload. And whenever Zach and I played last time, it was a really good game, and I wasn't playing with the defense that I necessarily wanted to. So I'm going back to a defense I've been wanting to try that I've talked to Jay about and I've talked to Chad about. Um, Actually, it was really cool. Chad and I were just able to message in Discord for like hours the other night while I was supporting the client working overnights. Um, and then the client was like, "Yeah, we kind of need y'all on days. This night's thing isn't working." But I was the guinea pig. I got to be on night shift, and I didn't get any questions hardly. They just didn't need me, so I just got to do a bunch of redemption all weekend. Like literally just 12-hour shifts where I could like read my book, write down some stuff, and that was it. So um, that's why I flooded the channels with all sorts of stuff. But anyway, I got to talk to Chad for a lot too, and I showed Rob Smith, Jay, and Chad this deck, and I was like, I really think it's good. I wanted Israel's Rebellion with the Black Gray Sabbath Breaker and maybe one other like Sabbath Breaker because of Gray. Ultimately, I just didn't need it, and it was taking up a Dom slot where like probably Shipwreck has to come out for Israel's Rebellion, which I don't hate. I like it, but the defense is working so well that I didn't really have to. So I know everyone loves their consistency with Lost Souls, and they love the speed aspect and what they bring to the table. We're not really seeing a lot of negate neutrals right now, and I think that's why people are really liking their Lost Souls. So I think Jay had the right defense last year. I think Flood in his hands is good. Um, and Flood got new toys with IR, but Jay essentially got to have, let's just say everyone got 5 or 6 turns at nationals. Well, Jay would get 8 or 9 turns at nationals. But when you go against thieves and demon thieves, it was tough for his offense to overcome that. But from a defensive standpoint, I think he was on the right defense. He had a finite number of blocks. I have a lot of blocks. I don't fully blow up heroes, so I do want to bring in like some sort of other kill card or two. Um, but I'm able to get out a lot of your good resources. And I can block for days, and no one's prepped for Soulhide right now. And no one's running Orphans, no one's running Thorns, very few. Chad talked about it because the influence Jay had on his group. Jay was also very reliant on soul hiding. He had a couple blocks and he's soul hide. I could probably bring unsuccessful in here for super silly. I just really like regrets. I'll talk about that card in a second. This is the proxy banner of love. Um, the reserve could change a little. It's pretty tight, but we're looking at like we don't have storehouse in here. We have such good reserve access and so much overall consistency to not just speed and stuff, but we have a ton of ways to our key pieces. Um, Pharaoh's daughter and Moses, plotting priest, and Anas the elder. Like turn one, I'm probably not going to draw 3 lost souls. Um, so Anas being able to underdeck 2 Meeks, that's a block. And if they searched, it's a CBN block. They have to generate souls. And it doesn't matter, I can still block. It's not like I just throw an 11-10 out there as a chump. He can still band to a unique Sadducee, which I only have Brood in here, but once that's going, it's Anas to Brood to Super or plotting, and it's nice. But I also like the fact that I do want High Priest Ananias in here. He needs to be in here, especially with Glory of the Lord running around. So I hate to say it, maybe Outsiders comes out. It's tough. Um, Outsiders is a very good block against Glory of the Lord. And I have Anas the Elder and Plotting Priests and Priest of Zeus. Toward Glory of the Lord, I have a lot of options to block Glory of the Lord, but I also want High Priest Ananias in here. I just haven't been able to fit him in yet. Like I have a note to say add him, and I'm not sure where he comes in. Maybe Armor Bearer. Like that's probably what the majority of people would say. Armor Bearer. One, this is a phenomenal turn one block. Two, the fact that I can go Armor Bearer, equip, equip Armor Bearer, kill one of their good cards in territory, which I can kill your Glory of the Lord. It doesn't do anything to Nazi, but I can kill your Glory of the Lord, and I can kill one of your heroes, or I can kill your Protect Fort. But if I kill one of your like best heroes and then go to Goliath, it's just a really good 1-2 punch. So I really do like it, plus the fact that I can equip a Foreign Spirits, which is very good in the meta. So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe something else comes out, like an enhancement, and High Priest Ananias comes in. So it looks like this is D heavy, right? But it's essentially 50-50 split. If you look at the amount of characters, it's the same as the amount of good enhancement or covenants. I can use philosophy on 2 of my characters, and I can recur philosophy, so I can recur philosophy and use it again. My Egypt is pretty much to get out Pharaoh's daughter in Wilderness, so we can count Egypt as good, but Golgotha is evil. And then I have Sheol and Tabernacle. So all that's pretty much a 1-for-1 on good to evil. I guess I have 1 extra being Wilderness. And then these are good. This is both, but leans towards good. But then if you look at the DOMs, I'm clearly skewed for evil. So it's a very much a 50-50 deck, but it looks D heavy. And it plays D heavy. Like I can block for days. But what's nice is I used to have Mount Sinai in here. I really hate missing that, but ultimately philosophy had to come in. And I just like having a bunch of enhancements because when I can block for days, I can just attrition you. Zipporah is really good. Um, just having that extra hero as a female with Banner of Love and being able to go out with like a hero and then Banner of Love into Zipporah, into Moses, into whoever is also nice. Um, so there's more to it than just pushing Zipporah Moses, and you just go in and get a free card. So I go in, pop your top card or an evil card from your reserve, like you have to pick, and then you have to pick the card from your reserve. Um, and then I go Moses and get a card from deck, so I'm up a +2. I can Tabernacle. It's just one of those little like she has initiative. I can band her in. She's free value. It helps Banner of Love. I mean, it's a CBI band. Not that Zadok stops it, but I just like a CBI band in general. Um, I would like to do I Am Sustainer, so where Chosen Warriors always works, but I feel like between being able to get some of the heroes, like I have Goliath's Curse and Foreign Spears and Regrets and Tenet Kills, plus what I have over here in Doms, I should be able to pop who I need to and get rid of your negate or get rid of your Holy Holies. And if not, it's okay. It's not the end of the world if I don't have Chosen Warriors. So it's just one line of attack. Because two of my guys are CBI, and then I have CBN. So it's okay. And if I can get Pharaoh's Daughter down as CBI early, which usually I do, I have CBP Exodus enhancements that I can recur. And what I like to do is have CBP Exodus enhancements and constantly be getting something out, and have Music Leader to where Music Leader can get back Royal Parade and Banner of Love. Banner of Love's white purple if you forgot. So I have 2 interrupts that I can recur for free if you do anything, and Tabernacle as well. So I should be able to go in with Moses, get anything from my deck. That's why we're playing heavy enhancements. Get any of these cards from my deck minus Lost Child Found because it's New Testament. Get whatever I need. Or if I don't need anything, just get a free card. Zipporah hits them. And then Moses can band to Aaron to Zadok, and I can reserve a card from hand, which I have enough. Get the draw 2, have Tabernacle, get back Philosophy, and then if you do any sort of draw or search, then I can get both Royal Parade and Banner of Love. So I just clearly attrition you. In the meantime, you have to get around Soulhide, Goliath, Add to Battle. So our Add to Battle is 1, 2, 3, 4. And this I can get over and over with Clinging to Power. So I can constantly add Goliath or Armor Bearer, and Clinging to Power, put down Garrison. Garrison reserves, brings in Goliath. You kill Goliath. Next turn, Garrison reserves, brings in Armor Bearer, goes back to Goliath. So you have to constantly get around a Goliath. And in the meantime, you can't draw or search. If you do, I'm going to underdeck Lost Souls with Plotting Priest 2 at a time and Shield 1 at a time. I'm going to Priest of Zeus you, and I'm going to Music Leader you. If you cannot draw or search, I'm going to win. I'm going to accumulate more resources, and I'm just going to keep attacking. And then you have to beat all my enhancements essentially are CBP. I'm going to negate everything, or negate your enhancements, have more enhancements than you, and just keep attacking while I can block the whole time. So I keep saying 57 is really good. The deck is so consistent and has so many ways to its main characters that I can forego the other Lost Souls and just go to Meek Lost Souls, just to where I can get out what I need and have such a great defense. So yeah, I really like where this is at. There's a couple tweaks I can make, hoping for good results against Zach. He's a really good player, so I'm hoping my D heavy can kind of overwhelm him while I just keep chipping away over and over, and should be able to just constantly get what I need. Um, I have ways to get out of overtaken, but it's not a lot. So if I see Herod's, then I kind of already look for regrets and then just wait for it. I think people aren't reading this card correctly. Sorry, Jay. I remember Jay saying this is one of the worst cards. It was probably on, I think it might have been on Threshing Floor. I don't remember it being on Portland, Pots from Portland. Um, but I think it was on Threshing Floor where he came on and said, "Don't play regrets. It's a horrible card." And I never understood that. I get it. It's a six -3, um, but it's a discard ability, so I can get it with Wages of Sin. I can get it with um, yeah, nothing else, just Wages, and it's got a great star ability. If I had it in deck, it still has a great star ability. It's in deck right now because of the ability on it. It's not your evil human, so I can block. I can play regrets. I discard your evil human. Then I get to discard your artifact and a good card. That's insane. I can pop 3 things in your territory while transferring initiative and then just backing it up with a negate if I need to. I mean, that's, in my mind, that's very good. I do want Chronicles in here, but I don't know, maybe Shipwreck comes out for Chronicles and just have that other negate that works on both ends that I can pull with Wages. So maybe I do play Chronicles. Um, I don't like that it can hit my Covenants though. That's what I'm worried about. So I don't like anything hurting. I don't like my own deck hurting each other at all. Right now it doesn't. I also want the cross in here. Um, but yeah, I want to be able to hit some artifacts. So if you draw Priest of Zeus, Goliath's Curse can negate and underdeck a good card in the territory. Regrets can hit a lot, and Foreign Spears can hit a good card in the territory. So I should be able to hit what I need to. I have some ways to hit your hand, High Priest Plot and Betrayal both out of battle if I want to, and Philosophy Recur. So I can really hit your hand. That's why Shipwreck's in here, because Recurring Philosophy plus High Priest Plot and Betrayal, they're so good. Um, like if I play Philosophy and hit your Son of God or Second Coming, and I High Priest Plot or Betrayal, like good luck. You got to get around all this. So between the Soul Hide, and the Soul Hide is so legit. Um, Having Clinging to Power and a Malachite Slave, it's not that hard to go to Anas the Elder. There's definitely more ways that can come in to get him first turn. But between, and Golgotha, I'm sorry, but I can bring in more ways. But uh, the fact that I have a good bit of ways to him turn 1, plus I have a Goliath block potentially turn 1, is just really good. I should be able to block with my characters and Soul High, and then you have to get around all my enhancements, and then you have to get around all my add to battle and my dominance. So it's just a lot that you have to do. I think we're kind of stuck on this. You have to rush because 57 means you're going to time out. It's just not the case. Justin already proved that. I feel like that theory's been squashed, but yet it just keeps getting talked about that 57 equals time. And who knows, maybe I time tonight and there it goes, ironic or laughing stock at me, but uh, we have enough evidence out there to where you don't have to time with a 57, that just because you play 57 doesn't mean you automatically time out, especially when you're just attacking and gaining resources while limiting their resources and further limiting their top cards and blocking and soul hiding and limiting what they can do because drawing and searching. It's really good, so I'm hoping for good results. We have just a hireling in reserve because I should have enough ways to block early on. This is more so if I see a bunch of tokens coming out, and Same with Tenant Kills, where I want to gain the full benefit of Tenant Kills. So even though I more than likely can get it turn 1, I felt like I had enough consistency cards to get what I need turn 1 between dominance and strong characters. And I have a negate here, technically, with 3 characters to play it on. Nas plus Goliath for strong blocks, turn 1. And then I have 1, 2, 3 negates up front, plus Doms. So I don't think I need another negate main deck. Maybe I do. I like Abraham's Deceit. But there's some more things we could add. So we'll see if Zach gets off to a good start and just he wins the negate battle. Maybe I fold on defense, but it'll be interesting to see. So I really like this deck. I think it's very good in the meta. Like I keep saying, it's a lot to get around on both ends. So we'll do a quick flip and kind of see how consistent it is, and then go from there. Wasn't trying to do too long of a video, but I did want to say I think Soul Hide is very much a thing that isn't being respected. So wanted to show it and kind of say, like, look what you have to get around turn 1. So whether you get to go first or not doesn't really matter to me. You have to stop. You would have to put down Nazi turn 1 to stop my Armor Bearer. And even if you did, I still have 2 negates on Armor Bearer plus a Clinging. That's a lot for you to get around. Like, sure, maybe a Resurrection deck like Nazi Rush can get to it, where you can put down Nazareth, like you could attack, play the Resurrection, and have like a band if you have something in your hand, like a hero, and then get Nazi down. Even then, I still get to negate and discard and underdeck and have a negate. I don't know. This is a lot. So from here, if I don't go, or if I do go first, it's nice because I go straight to P. Diddy. She gets out Moses. Actually, I probably can't say P. Diddy anymore, right? All sorts of conspiracies and, well, he just straight up fled the country. What am I doing? Back on topic, Tyler. And we like to go ahead and throw that Lost Soul in a site. And we're going to go ahead and show him Armor Bearer. You know why? Because we don't care. Going to Clinging to Power. So we can do the search. And we do have our band ability. And just like that, we have a Lost Soul in a site, Anas the Elder, Armor Bearer. That's a ton of stuff. We could have gotten Plotting Priest and done an attack as well. Like, that's also something. But being able to have that almost guaranteed block turn 1 is also nice with Armor Bearer just chilling. And now we can just go out with, if we want, we can go Moses to Miriam. And I snag increasing. It's just, I can get 2 heroes from my deck is amazing. If I want, I can be protected from discard. And now I have a very strong negate up front and discard an evil card from their hand. Or I have a negate all, take 2. So it doesn't really matter here. We want to play the negate all, hit 2. Because if we play Philosophy and then have to play this, we lose Philosophy. It doesn't work because we're negating everything. So more than likely this is just going to work regardless, because if they play a CBN or a CBP negate, then we can flick on Philosophy. Not flick. It's the wrong word. Sorry, Magic players. We always go Aaron. I like going Zippor first too. For here, Doesn't necessarily matter. I like having the battle extension. I also like having Zipporah early, to be honest. Not sure there. They'd have to have some sort of scattered sheep, descent against Moses, reap. Ironically, we don't really like playing brown with Wilderness White. So now it's a matter of what can they do? And if they do any sort of searching, then I have a CBN underdeck. They have to protect Lost Souls from evil cards. And if so, I can negate and discard and have the negate on top of it. More than likely, they got to be playing a brigade, and more. I don't, unless I'm playing Jared. I'm not really too worried. Maybe Jared or John Hendricks, but I'm not too worried about them having blue or green. So they have to be playing white for side access, and we're seeing so much clay right now and white converting to clay, but we are seeing white, so they definitely could have side access, which sucks because we have Golgotha and Egypt when we're hiding souls. We kind of like being able to have a couple sites that they can't get to. So I'd probably go straight to Anasi Elder. Just popped my Invisalign if you guys heard that, sorry. So I go to the Elder, I get that under deck, and I just kind of sit and look at them. I wouldn't play Goliath's Curse, even though I don't want to play this. I like to get it on Bear. It doesn't necessarily matter because Bear goes to Goliath. So I can just play the negate as a normal negate, draw 2. If they played anything, there are chances that I could draw into Lost Souls. But if I had to negate anything, I would. Nothing upkeep, and boom, what do you know? We got our big fort. Do we want a dominant and add the battle dominant right here with wages? Do we want to hit the reserve, or do we want music leader? I want music leader. I want the most counters possible down to where, or punishers would be the right term, to where if my opponent does something, I gain based on what I'm punishing you for doing something. If you search, then shield triggers, which I don't have anything down, but that's fine. As long I'd rather have it down and not have souls out. That's kind of the point. But if you draw or search, especially being this early in the game, having music leader down is maximum value. From here, I can go Zipporah to Moses to Aaron and get out book. We like getting book early, or I can go to her. So I would go Zipporah, and they would have to discard Moses. And it's kind of like, what do you want? Do you want Plague of Frogs? I don't think we need the protection here if we're not drawing. We like Plague of Frogs with Zadok. That's kind of when we wait for it to where we pull that Deceiver to Foreign Wives on a Zadok block with Daughter out, and we just drop Plague of Frogs on a CBN Foreign Wives when I'm negating enhancements. So I kind of wait on Plague of Frogs. I also get the draw X off a Foreign Wives, so I essentially just wait on unless I absolutely have to play Plague of Frogs. I just wait for Foreign Wives and draw a bajillion. This is just really good when we're going Moses to Zadok to recur. Like Jay had a deck where it was just Moses attacks by himself, and he's getting draws and getting value in Tabernacle. It's the same concept with more resources in this build. It just takes a couple more heroes. I don't need to get anything that involves music because I have music leader down. No need to hit that shuffle. We're going right into it. And we don't have a band after this. As much as I'm tempted, I want her in there. Get Book of the Covenant out. We always are playing for the mid to long game in this deck. You also need to know what range your deck plays. Jared always talks about he's a mid-range guy. kind of see myself as an aggressive mid to late game guy. Like I play aggressive, but I feel like I'm looking for my end game where I'm trying to gain more value for longer term plays than upfront. You'll see that a lot when I actually start to play competitively, as I have started to this past month. You'll see me where I actually play differently than what I've shown in my videos or like aggressive play styles, to where like at Kentucky State, I was playing Church of Christ with a bunch of tokens, and I would just make tokens and just sit there and wait. And then you would be forced to put down your evil characters. I was able to block all day, and then I play rescue attempt, ride on, love one another, look at your hand, you have no evil characters there, and they're all converted. And then you have to start bouncing your own evil characters, our heroes, and I can just choose the rescuer. So stuff like that. Once again, I still have 2 negates and woes, so no matter what they play, I have CBP enhancements. Getting out an Old Testament white card, which is either Banner of Love or You Will Remain. I would get out Banner of Love here because I have Miriam. So they would have to play something else. They'd have to play something else. If they negate it, I still have Philosophy. If they interrupt and play something, I still have Banner of Love as well. So once again, we are just accumulating resources every turn. And once we get Zadok in there, we start drawing, we're gaining resources, and we still feel confident that we can block. And I did accumulate some brigades, so we don't have herdsmen in this build. That's another thing I'd like, but can't fit everything. Not when you have a pretty beefy offense too. So yeah, they would have to generate a lost soul. So they have to play. I would like David Heart After God with at least Obed, maybe not Jesse, but at least Obed. In order to do that, Music Leader, Miriam, Banner of Love would all have to come out, and I'd bring in, like, this would be David Heart After God, and then I guess her would be Jesse, and we can do that, and keep Banner and Music Leader and have David. We just got to find a way to bounce David consistently. Like that means bringing in another artifact. So I'd have to cut something else to bring in an artifact. But I think being able to negate their neutrals is worth it. So I'll probably do that before tonight and test that out. So especially when I never ban to her, it's always like a Zadok band. I like having her because it's like just hit you with more stuff. But usually it's Chosen Warriors or Zadok. And that's just recognizing your deck, right? What do you want? What'll make it different? And then just as you're playing it, and for me, it's just talking through. Like I knew I wanted David and Jesse, but how do I do that? And I guess we found a way. So David Heart After God. I think both of these look awesome. I like how they're different too, like different art feels completely. So what do we say? We said her can come out for David. Miriam can come out for Jesse. And we need a way to bounce. And it can't be territory class. We're playing too many territory class as is. We only have 1 female now. And technically, I don't like doing videos where the card's not in there yet. Just for people to know, Banner of Love, it is out. I physically own it. I own 2. I gladly got ripped off at a tournament for a second one to trade with the kids. So now we have a spot in reserve. And that's where we can bring in our bounce. Which honestly, I really like bouncing Pharaoh's Daughter. I have had Moses get reserved before, and I just bounced my Pharaoh's Daughter and put her down. It's also really good when Book of the Covenant makes a CBN, and you can bounce their annoying heroes or characters that mess with you. So I think that works. I like 20 shekels, but it's too reliant on. Well, I can bounce my own, but I don't really need to play anything from their hand. As much as I love the hand look, um, getting those bounce twos, that's good for me. Let's see. I think that's good, right? We kept music leader. Now we have David, and that means that David's harp can stay on David. Since I lost an enhancement that involves music, I almost want to bring in one more. I love Lord Goes Before You. Like David to Lord Goes Before You is very good if they have characters out. I don't like that this is New Testament. Like I definitely want an Old Testament card for both David and Moses to get. And it's almost something as simple as hate wickedness, or we go with Lord Goes Before You, which is amazing. It's also good if I can go Lord Goes Before You and pick one of my characters and one of yours, and then I can hit you with philosophy and betrayal or something like that, to where I can still get max value, or go in with Anas and underdeck. I know I lose Anas after that, but I really like Lord Goes Before You. I don't want another negate. I do want a battle winner. Even if it's not a great battle winner, like the fact that you can just have a remove with David and a remove with Moses is nice, that you can recur with 2 ways with Tabernacle and Music Leader. I think this goes in. We bring Garrison just in case we have Goliath in hand and Armor Bearer. We still want to be able to equip and exchange. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just play at 58 for a minute. What do you all think? I don't love that. I feel like I can block. I love Outsiders, but I feel like I can block. And it is another brigade, and it's not. Ugh. How dare I say Outsiders come out, right? So I'll keep playing. Maybe I'll just play with it at 58. That's like my one nice little extra draw. Sometimes I need that extra draw 3 to recover from a defensive standpoint. So I do like this card in the deck because that's one that could come out. It's also another way to Book of the Covenant early, but really it's just my draw 3 that's CBP. That's also a 5/2 that I like. There's a lot of ways to go with this. People have said I'd like to hear your thought process when deck designing and making choices, and this is the other choice, is that the wrong covenant with Moses. My deck is a little slow, so I like having something to where I can just almost immediately go into a draw 3. But I did just take out some Exodus heroes. So now we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we only have 3. So can't justify that. Now we're back at 57, but I have a clay white, which is nice because I do have Zadok that I don't always have to, like if they get to choose the block or choose the rescuer, then I do have something to play on Zadok. But this would be a negate and discard, which is another Old Testament card and a covenant, to where Book of the Covenant can get it, but it's an Old Testament card that I can snag from my deck with David, with Moses, and with Book of the Covenant. So not bad. Is it better than Sprinkled Blood? Sprinkled Blood we can just get back with the Tabernacle over and over. So it's a negate evil character's top deck, and we just keep getting it back. However, we now have a remove an evil character that we can get back, but it's not CBP. I feel like we have enough options in here overall. Cub Abraham is for Zadok and Chosen Warriors, so that kind of has to stay. Whoa, that's the ugly you are, man. What am I doing? And then the other thing is, does Hate Wickedness come out and Cub Moses go in? So I don't know. I think I spent enough time on it. Let's get it to 58 for now. We increased our battle winners because we lost Banner of Love, but we increased our battle winners with Hate Wickedness and changing out Cub Moses because we didn't have the draw. I think we're okay. We do need to increase our swag. How dare I? And now we're at 58. Don't love that. Probably would still look into getting Garrison back into the reserve. Because sometimes he's just a block turn one, but a lot of time I want him kind of later when I have Goliath out. And then that means Regrets would come out, which I don't like to do. So there's a couple things I'll have to look at. As for the deck, it's pretty much, I'm not going to say it's cut and dry because I have main lines of attack. Like I'm going to attack you with my Band, Zipporah, Moses, Aaron. Like I'll have Book flipped up and I'll get these two going. And that's pretty much what I'm drawing with. So I'm gaining a resource here. You're losing a resource here. I'm reserving something, which doesn't matter because I can get it so easily. I'm getting a draw 1 on Book, and then I'm getting a draw 2 on Zadok. I'm negating everything with CBP enhancements where I can recur and recur. So I really like where that's at. I really like the David Jesse. I did want that. And I just kind of push over and over. And once you have, it just keeps adding. Like it's a lot of pressure up front, and then you just keep adding to the puzzle, right? Whether it's over and over here or this attack is probably the norm. Once again, I'm getting a resource, like you taking out one from you, gaining one from Gnosis, gaining one from Chosen Warriors, having the add to battle, and then having the Tabernacle to where I can also exchange if need to. That's another line of attack. I just have general good enhancements where I can just attack with Wilderness of Sinai, draw 1, and just have enhancements in my hand. I guess people are afraid of that. There's nothing wrong. If I can lure you into the Plague of Frogs, that's massive. And then just having all the territory control. Now bringing Jesse in here, having Music Leader, Plotting Priest, Priest of Zeus, Sheol, Jesse. That's a lot of punishment. Having David's Harp active on David now, while Book of the Covenant is in Tabernacle. I can think about another artifact. I'm not sure what, but because this can go on David and I have my artifact slot open, there is potential to bring in an artifact. So there's a lot of ways I can look at this deck and kind of edit it, but I like where it's at overall. I do think people are still focused on GOC is the best because GOC is the fastest, and I just don't think that is entirely true. I think there's a lot of good decks out there that just simply aren't being played because they aren't GOC. I do think Banner of Love helps. Glory Lord helps everything. But the fact that priests have some new tools, like I think Clay's very good. I'm going to be honest, that's probably the deck I was going to build, but Lackey's not updated fully yet. and that's fine. I didn't want to proxy everything, and I know Zach likes his priests as well, so I didn't want to go into the mirror with Zach, who plays priests a lot. So there's a lot that you can play. I still think Wilderness Attrition's really good with 57D heavy, and I continue to play some sort of Phillies. It's really good. Black has definitely gotten better because they have priests, because glory to the Lord. So look into what's out there and what's good, and what other themes that just kind of fell off that are still really good. Impartial Judgment's still really good. Play Wheat and Tares and play Impartial Judgment. Like, you make tokens with Host, attack with Impartial. That's a really, really good play. And guess what? If it's turn 4 or 5, you're going to win the game. So there's just a lot of good stuff out there that isn't being played as much. So I hope to do well in this Grand Prix. I'm taking it seriously. A lot of times I just kind of build what I want instead of what I like plus what I want. Or I'll just build what I like. I guess I said that wrong. Like, I don't look at it competitively. I just kind of build something. I always play different decks, but I don't always invest the amount of time needed for a competitive deck, and I'll instead just kind of put something in there and not look at it from a meta perspective. Just kind of say, oh, well, this is what I want to play. So I said it wrong. Now I want to look at from a meta perspective, play what I want to play, but also what I think is good, and then put the extra time in to make it good. So I'm rambling on. That's Tyler Talks for you, though. I will do a review video. It'll probably be my next video, and I'm going to couple it with a tier video. So my next video will be the tier video. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing tiers of. Jake did a dominant tier. So I think I'm going to go into a Lost Soul tier, because I know Hendrix is going to talk about Lost Souls. So it'd be really cool if I did a breakdown of Lost Souls and kind of how I see them. I won't do every single one, but I can talk about OT Unity, NT Unity, and then at the end of the channel kind of say, here's my updated LGP 15 deck and how it went against Zach. So that's the plan. I play Zach tonight, so I can probably get out a video tomorrow and just go right into the review of the game, how I played, how the deck went, any updates I should have made, any updates I did make, and also touch on Lost Souls to where Hendrix has time to look at the deck or the video if he wants to, and kind of bring in how he sees Lost Souls as well. So yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. The community's going awesome right now in Discord. If you're not on there, definitely comment asking for a Discord link. I'll post it. Definitely go check out Jake, his video. Jake, I need to go make sure I have your YouTube right. But I think it's Agar the Wise, and check out his YouTube video. It's really good. Always watch Jaden's and Babooty. Tim's doing awesome stuff. Tim, I'm glad you slowed down. I think that's great. Slowing down a bit and just gearing up for competitive play and pushing out a couple videos a week is smart. So we have just a lot of content in general. So it's a good time to be playing. Thank you all. Hope you all have a good day, and hopefully I'm talking to you all tomorrow. See you.